Ukrainian sources indicated that Russian forces are concentrating limited, understaffed, and incohesive forces in the Sumy direction. Despite this, even such a Russian grouping of forces will likely achieve the desired effect of drawing and fixing Ukrainian forces in the international border area. The deputy commander of a Ukrainian brigade in northern Kharkiv Oblast reported that Russian forces, including Chechen units, are accumulating in Sumy. However, the limited number of Russian personnel suggests the objective is to draw and fix Ukrainian forces rather than initiate significant offensive operations. The grouping in Kharkiv Oblast consists of 9,000 minus 10,000 personnel. Kremlin officials expressed their condolences to senior Iranian officials following the announcement of Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi's and Foreign Affairs Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian's deaths on May 20. Russian President Vladimir Putin sent a condolence letter to Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, highlighting Raisi as a true friend of Russia. Putin had a telephone call with Iranian interim President Mohammad Mokber on May 20, expressing condolences to Mokber, Khamenei, and the Iranian people. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called Raisi and Abdollahian true friends who were invaluable in strengthening Russo-Iranian cooperation. Russian President Vladimir Putin fired Russian Deputy Defense Minister Colonel General Yury Sadovenko on May 20. He replaced him with former Deputy Economic Minister and current Federation Council Accounts Chamber Auditor Oleg Savelyev. Sadovenko had held his position in the Russian Ministry of Defense since January 2013. A Russian insider source speculated that Sadovenko might become a defendant in a criminal case for violating anti-corruption laws. The insider added that some additional Russian deputy defense ministers who work closely with former Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu may soon resign. Observers noted Saveliyev's appointment aligns with efforts to improve the wartime economy. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin reiterated the White House's unwillingness to approve Ukraine's use of U.S.-provided weapons and strikes against military targets in Russia following a meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group on May 20. Austin stated that the U.S. expects Ukraine to use the weapons provided only on targets inside Ukraine. He noted that the aerial dynamic is a little bit different, but did not speculate further. These U.S. and Western policies compromise Ukraine's ability to defend itself against current Russian offensive operations in northern Kharkiv Oblast and other areas near the international border. Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas stated that some unspecified countries, presumably NATO member states, have already sent personnel to train Ukrainian soldiers on the ground. Kallas mentioned on May 19th that some countries have assumed the risk of sending personnel to train Ukrainian soldiers in a risk zone during the war. She emphasized that NATO states should not fear the risk of escalation from such deployments. Kallas' statement is the latest in a series of back-and-forth comments between senior Estonian officials about whether Estonia is planning to send its own personnel to perform non-combat support roles in deep rear areas in Ukraine. Russian Security Council Deputy Chairperson Dmitry Medvedev amplified a known Russian information operation aimed at directly undermining Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's legitimacy as president. Medvedev gave a long interview to Kremlin newswire TASS on May 20, where he doubled down on this information operation, portraying Zelensky as an illegitimate president. Other Russian officials and ultranationalist bloggers either made or amplified similar statements, accusing Zelensky of illegally holding office. Medvedev likely timed his statements to coincide with May 20, when Zelensky's current presidential term would have ended had Ukraine held presidential elections in March 2024. Russian forces recently made confirmed advances near Vovchansk, Chasiv Yar, Avdiivka, and Donetsk City, and in western Zaporizhia Oblast and the Dnieper River Delta. These advances indicate ongoing Russian efforts to gain territorial control and exert pressure on key Ukrainian positions. Ukrainian defenses in these areas are facing continuous challenges as Russian forces attempt to consolidate their gains and fortify their positions. The advances in these regions are part of a broader strategy to disrupt Ukrainian defensive lines and create opportunities for further offensive operations. The situation remains fluid as both sides adjust their tactics and deployments.